What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. Today I want to talk about how African people need to start showing some grace when talking to each other. We need to start showing each other some grace. That just seems to be something we just have the hardest time doing, right? We give everybody else grace and the benefit of the doubt. We give everybody. We give white folks, Spanish folks, Indian, Asian. We give them all a certain level of grace until they piss us off, obviously, then we go off. But we give them a baseline of grace, but we don't give each other at all. We don't give black people, we don't give each other enough grace. You see, the issue is we got so many people, right, from different races, different, parts of the global community who are so ignorant on black people, who are still stuck in the hamster wheel of white worship, right? They still seek to gain validations from who they see as deemed as their masters, the white race, right? The Europeans, right? So they capitulate to those people, right? Thinking they're going to gain favor, right? They kiss the ass of the European in order to gain favor, right? And one of the prerequisites for kissing the ass of the European is to talk shit about their arch enemy, the people that they're most afraid of, most intimidated by, which are African people, period, right? So all the other races, while being systematically discriminated against, they also participate in the discrimination and degradation of us black people, right? So they're discriminated, they're discriminated and they discriminate at the same time, right? Us black people, we have to fight all of that and white supremacy, because at the same time as all these other groups, try to capitulate, well, at least one portion of their group, not all of them, one portion of their group want to capitulate to white power. The other portion is waiting for the black people to fight on their behalf. Or they're waiting for us to get mad and start something so they can jump on our backs and push their agendas alongside of ours, which we know they always do. So on one hand, they're waiting for us to start the revolution. On the other half, they're the cause of the modern day system that we need a revolution from. At the same time, they're a part of the cog in that machine, right? Which we need to destroy, right? So we got all these things that we're doing. The last thing we need to do is to be having such furious internal fights of our own, right? Now we're all gonna fight, just like every group has fights in their own. Asian people are not a united group of people. They fight and they have their own stereotypes. They have their own issues amongst their group of people. Europeans, they also have their own gripes and fights in between each other, so their own group of people. But the problem with Europeans is when they have a fight with each other, everybody else has to be involved. Right? That's why you got, black folks talking about Democrat, Republican. Like, those are not our groups. Those are not our political ideologies. Those are not our historical governance bodies. Those are white people. That's their shit. And we sitting here fighting, picking which white side we gonna be on instead of picking our side finally, right? And that's the last thing we need to do, is start picking our side finally and giving each other grace. Allowing another black person to say something critical about you, and you just giving just that little bit of grace, that little bit of time to try to process the information, and just off GP, just off for the sake that they black, just don't flip out. Don't go so hard. Don't drop all your nukes just because that's your brother, right? Treat them the same way you would treat your actual brother or your sister when they piss you off, right? You give them that little bit of grace because they family. It's like, shit, man. Your family, you make me so mad, but they family, right? That's the thing we need to start gluing ourselves together. So, like the argument with who's the smartest people in the world. If y'all are Nigerians the smartest in the world, if you look at the way how I broke it down, right? My viewpoint, I purposely view on a bigger. I step back further than most people, right? And I see us as one legitimately. And if you know that we're Africans, and we're a one, if you big up one group of Africans, you bigging up all of us. Right? So as an African American, if I big up Nigerians, I know I'm bigging up myself inherently, right? I'm bigging up any part of Africa inherently. When Uganda or South Africa or any of them other African countries do anything great and amazing, I'll big them up. I'm bigging me up inherently. It's automatic, right? So I don't have any shame or ego when it comes to bigging up the accomplishments of another group of Africans, or when I can say these Africans excel at this one thing that my group of Africans don't excel at, or used to excel at, or should excel better at, right? We know there are good examples in the black community. We always look for examples in the white community. We always talk about what the Jews do, We always talk about what everybody else doing, how we need to be like them. We got examples within our black diaspora in every aspect of life, business and social, where we can look just at black people and have great examples on what it is the rest of us need to do, right? And here's another thing. What the hell is a Nigerian anyway, if you really think about it? See, when I go to Nigeria, I notice that every type of African is in Nigeria. You don't think that there were people from Uganda or Great Zimbabwe or Southern Africa, North Africa who migrated to the Fertile Crescent of West Africa? You don't think they did that? You don't think that Nigeria is filled with South Africans, East Africans, Central Africans, and North Africans who conglomerated within this area that the Europeans called Nigeria? But it's just a landmass. It's just one of the many places as us Africans moved about. Do people still got in their minds that Africans are stagnant and the Southern Africans stayed in the South, Northern Africans stayed in the North, Eastern Africans stayed in the East, Western Africans stayed in the West, and Central stayed right in the center, and we didn't move around and we didn't socialize and mix and all that stuff? Y'all don't think we did that? You see how much mixing we've done in the last 500 years? Africans been in Africa for 2-3 million years. We've been mixing. So what the hell is a Nigerian? What's a Ugandan? What's a South African? What is that? They black. They all look, we are all the same. We've already did our mixing. We've already done our mixing before the white folks came along. So these names are just arbitrary European titles and lines that we still fight over today. People in America, African Americans, are still killing each other over fucking streets that white people name, that we don't fucking own. That's how delusional we are. Sometimes we get in our egos and we get upset and we forget we're fighting for institutions and titles that don't belong to us. We didn't make this shit up, so we shouldn't fight over it. Yes, a Nigerians, the people who come out of that area are the smartest goddamn people in the world. Huh? But guess what? Those people from that area are also from all the other areas of Africa. So all Africans, point blank, we're the smartest people in the world, period. Point blank, end of story. No egos involved. I save my ego for the white man when he think he better than me. I save my ego for the Asian man when he think he better than me. I save my ego for those motherfuckers that come over here, enjoy all the things that we black Africans created, right? Enjoy all the modern amenities that we black Africans created. Enjoy all the opportunities that we black Africans created for them, right? I save all my ego for them when they get arrogant and talk to us like we not the architects of their success in the modern era. I save my ego for that. All right, but for my African brothers and sisters, I give them grace. I give them grace because a Nigerian, a Ugandan, a South African, a Cameroonian, a Congolese, a Ghanaian, they just African. Just like I'm just an African. We all African. We all great. We all excel when given the opportunity. That's just what it is. And we just need to know that and know that we are one. Despite our differences, our cultural differences, we are still one under the guise of African, all right? And everybody else, those are the ones that need to capitulate to us. Those are the ones who need to recognize our greatness. But before they can recognize our greatness and be forced to, we have to recognize our greatness and our oneness as a group of people, as Africans. Stop saying just black power and be one of us. Stop saying that and live it and be it and know it. Have it inside your soul. Have it inside you. Live it, right? Walk around like you the shit. If you African, you walk around like you the shit. I walk around like I'm the shit every day. I walk past white people and I look them straight in the eyes. I don't even wear sunglasses because I want them to see me when I'm coming. I want them to see my intentions in my eyes. That's how I roll. That's how I do. I'm a proud African, you understand? Unapologetically. I go into a big ass group of white folks and tell them I'm a proud African. Dare them to fucking say some shit. That's how I roll. All right? Because I'm proud. And y'all got to start carrying that proudness around you. Same way you proud when your football team won. That's your team, right? The same way you proud when your team win. The same way you proud like that, that's how you need to be proud as an African. When your team win. And if your team is black, African, and they win, you win. And that's how you should look at it. One big ass fucking team. Does the team always get along? No. Are there fights in the locker room? Yeah. But so what? On game day, we play together. Anyway, that's all I got to say. This Afro Think Tank, learn some, teach some. I'm out.